Now, find the equation of the tangent to the curve, wherever this curve looks like at this point here. So, once again, what I'm picturing in my head is I'm picturing some random curve. I don't even know its shape. No idea. So I'm just going to draw some random curve like so. And then I'm going to draw the point too far, which the curve actually goes through. Then I'm going to picture a tangent hitting that curve at one point. Right? And that's what I have in my head. The first thing I'm thinking of is, you know what? It's the equation of a line formula. Right? And to get some attempt marks straight out, what can I do? That's a good attempt right there, isn't it? Because it's a line that goes through too far. Only thing I'm stuck on is the slope. And I go, in differentiation, the first derivative is the slope. So what I'll just do here is I'll go for u equals 5x squared. U dx equals v is, and the v dx. And we do to y dx. 3 times the u dx, which is times nx. U times the v dx. Yeah, all over e squared, which is 1 plus x squared 2v squared. Do I have to make this look pretty? Do I have to break it down and make it all look amazing? What do I have to do? Just got to sub in x equals 2. Now, I will, as it turns out, I will just multiply this out slightly, because I think it'll actually make my job easier. Actually, it does make my job easier. What cancels on top? The 10x. So actually multiplying it out that little bit more will actually make my subbing in a lot easier. So in some cases it is worth exploring whether it becomes really easy really quickly. So all I have to do is sub in this. There's not much scope for me going wrong. As I go wrong immediately after saying that. 4/5, anybody? Right. You would also, being lazy, so you would actually show the show the work subbed in as well. You will just want to write down the answer. You'd actually have your workings here underneath. Oh, all right. I'm going to sub in 4/5 for the. I'm going to sub in 4/5 for the slope. And what do we get over here then? 5y minus 20 equals 4x minus 8 minus 4x plus 5y minus 12 equals 0. Everybody cool with that? That answer or the minus version of it will do you. Who got it out? Great. Move on. Right. So, yeah. First derivative is the slope, so the first derivative equals 4 when x equals. Yeah, not too bad. So what do you get for the first derivative, Carly? 2ax plus b, and that equals 5 when, equals 4 when. So sub in x equals 5, and you get 10a plus b equals 4. Alright, it's a simultaneous equation, which means you're going to need another equation to finish it off. Where does that other equation come from? Anybody? Get in any of this? Yeah. You sub in y equals 0 when x equals 5. So the y turns into 0 when you use an x value of 5. And then it should become 25a plus 5b equals minus 5. Alright? Do these. Daily, what did you do next? Or what would you do? Which letter do you want to get rid of? Yeah, multiply it by? Yeah, I'd say so. And what you get now? A equals? Yep. And if A equals 1, what does that mean for B? Bring the 10 over to your side. B is minus 6, yeah. Now, if you aren't sure about this question, what I suggest you do is you go to mode, table function, you enter in 1x squared. You start out on minus 4 all the way up to, like, I don't know, 6. And you should get the 0.50, shouldn't you? If you don't get 50, you've gone wrong. And we can see that 50 is part of that equation, so we're good to go. Okay, let's move on. Lads, question 12, there's no need. Lads, really quickly, how would you do question 12? Really quickly. Differentiate and put in x equals 1. You get the slope, don't you? How do you get the y value? So when x equals 1 at the beginning, then you use y minus y1 equals m into. I think you're good. I think we've done a few of them already, so I'd imagine you might be able to take care of that on your own. So I did 8 and 10, and what I probably have for you guys later is you guys will have a look at 12 on your own. All right, here's one I'd like you to have a look at on your own. Right, I'm going to put down one hint here. What does it want the slope of your tangent to be? What does it want the slope of your tangent to be, lads? Can anybody tell me? What? Yeah, it wants it to be 4. So imagine this. This is your curve. I can't remember which way it works again, but imagine this is your curve here. That's your. Is everybody happy? That's your cubic equation, for argument's sake. This line here, 4x minus 7, it crosses the axis of minus 7 and has a slope of 4. Is that line a tangent to that curve? No. But there will be a point on your graph where if you keep that slope and you move it, is that a tangent to your curve? Yeah. So you're looking for the position. I think what's going to happen is there's not going to be just one x value. I think there's going to be 2 x values. Can anybody tell me why? What about over the other side? What about over here? Is that a tangent roughly? That's a tangent as well. So you might get 2 x values and 2 y values. There might be 2 different points. So you're going to have point A, which will be blue, point B, that will be red, and you'll get the equation of the line twice, won't you? You know the slope is going to be. Everybody knows the slope is going to be 4, don't you? So what you're going to do is differentiate once, solve a quadratic equation, get 2 x values, then get 2 y values, and then find 2 equations of the line. Off you go. Yeah, I'll come in behind you. All right. So because y equals mx plus c, we know the slope of the tangent has to be 4, which gives us equation y minus y1 equals 4 and x minus x1. Now we have to find the 2 x values and 2 y values which are crosses. Differentiate the formula once, and you get y equals 3x squared minus 6x minus 5. You want the slope to equal 4, so you put equals 4 over the other side. Then you get y, then you're going to get a 3x squared, sorry, that's the y dx. You're going to get 3x squared minus 6x minus 9 equals 0. You're going to divide that by 3. You're going to get x squared minus 2x minus 3 equals 0. You're going to get x minus 3 and x plus 1 equals 0. Then you're just going to get x equals 3 and x equals minus 1. Now, there is a lazy way of doing this as well. You can input the value back in, or if you go to your table function, what I might be inclined to do is I might just put in the numbers here. 3x squared minus 5x and then plus 10, and then start at, I don't know, minus 5 and end at 5. Now look at the numbers we're looking at. We're looking for 3 and 1 minus 1, aren't we? So just go through here. Minus 111, anybody? Who got minus 111? Right. And then the other one would be 3 minus 5. You got those two answers? Now, am I entitled to full marks? Yep. Why? See this red equation here? What do I have to do? I have to sub in the two different sets of numbers, okay? So the first one will be y minus 11 equals 4 into x plus 1. Y minus 11 equals 4x plus 4. 4x minus y plus 15 equals 0. Your first answer. Your second answer is yes. Oh, just says find the coordinates, does it? Oh, I am done. Sorry, I'm wrong. I was going to get the actual equation of tangents. Sorry, lads, we're wrong. I'm wrong. Just the two coordinates will do you nicely. Alright? Awesome. That's 14. Now, alright guys, really quickly. Alright. What shape of function is this one? What shape is it? The U-shaped quadratic, okay? Now, usually what happens is in a U-shaped quadratic, you usually have it goes here and here. Now, the deal is I don't know if one of them's negative, one of them's positive, or whether both of them are positive. I don't really know that. So look, I'll just solve the equation just to give you a bit of background. So x squared minus 1x minus 6 equals 0. The reason why I'm putting it equals 0 is I can find out where it crosses the axis. Everybody go with that? I'm going to get x minus 3, x plus 2 equals 0, x equals minus 2, x equals 3. So essentially the answer will look something like this. Everybody go with that? Now, there is what's known as the minimum point. The minimum point is where the point stops going down and it goes back up again. Now, believe it or not, it's usually halfway between these 2 points here. So what do you think the x value will be for that? What's halfway between minus 2 and 3? There's a gap of 5. Would you agree there's a gap of 5? And what's half of 5? 2.5 below 3 or 2.5 above minus 2. So what x value will that be? Exactly, right? Now, if you didn't know that already, there's another way of doing it. Okay, here's the second way of figuring that out. What's the slope at the very bottom? The slope at the very bottom is 0. So I'm going to differentiate once. 2x minus 1 is the slope. When it's the slope 0, there you go. 2x equals 1, x equals. Is that comparing what we previously knew already? Halfway between the two intercepts would be your minimum point. Alright? Nextly, would everybody agree that for this yellow part here, the function is always decreasing? And would everybody agree that for this side here, the function is always increasing? Does that make sense? This, for the yellow part, the slope is always negative. For the blue part, the slope is always positive. So, when it's increasing, the sign is positive. When it's decreasing, the sign is negative. Everybody get that? Any questions? I'll pause it. For me, it's this is x equals to half, isn't it? Anything to the left of x equals to half is on its way down. So how do I write that? X smaller than half. Anything to the left of a half is decreasing. Okay? Now, it's easy for a U-shaped graph. It's not as easy for a cubic. So let's do the next one. Now, once again, I told you I can never remember is on. I'm going to do a rough sketch of this cubic just to get the idea into my head what's going on. So it's x cubed plus 6x squared and minus 2. Okay, and I'm just going to get a rough idea of what's going on here. I don't know, start at minus 10, go all the way up to plus 10. Let's just see what's going on. I'm not going to write minus 402. It's not going to happen. It's on its way up, isn't it? Can everybody see that the y values are on their way up? When did the y values stop going up? Somewhere in the minus 4 to minus 3 region. Would you agree with that? So, if this is minus 4, minus 3 over here, minus 4, that's minus 3, that's minus 2, that's minus 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Somewhere it reaches its peak. Okay? Now what happens? Goes down again. Cross the axis somewhere between minus 1 and 0. No better. Somewhere between minus 1 and 0. It's a rough diagram, isn't a work of art. Shocking, in fact. Alright? Keep going. Goes back up again, doesn't it? Somewhere between 0 minus 2 and 1 minus 5, it went back up again. So 0 minus 2, 1, 5, which is a lot shorter than the other one. And then surely it has to keep going up now. Keeps going up forever then, doesn't it? How do I know that? It's only allowed to have 2 turning points. Go with that? Now, looking at this graph, where do you think it's increasing or decreasing? Where do you think the decreasing region is? I'd say blue is increasing, yellow is meant to be decreasing, and then it reaches its bottom, and then the blue part is increasing again. Does that make sense? I need to find out where does the slope turn to 0. So what should I do with this? Differentiate. And when I differentiate, what happens? 3x squared minus, which is 3x into minus 4. Sorry, give me a sec. I knew that was wrong. It was wrong. Right? And next part, x equals minus 4 or x equals 0. Let's have a look at my calculator again. X equals minus 4 was my maximum, actually. It wasn't minus 3, it was minus 4. Sorry, redraw this again. Slightly wrong. So it's more like this. Here. It's more like this. It's the peak at minus 4. And then comes on its way down. Okay? Terrible graph, just a rough sketch, okay? So, is everybody happy that it starts at the yellow region is where it's gone down? Everybody cool with that? Now, where is it? Where's the next? So that's where the slope is 0. So that's where it turned from positive back to negative. And the slope is also 0 down here. How did I know that? Because the x value equals 0. So bigger than minus 4 and smaller than 0, it was decreasing. So how do I write that? x is less than, or flip that around. We cool? Alright, awesome. Alright, that's 16 done. Okay. So 8, 10, 14, 16, right? I want you guys to try this one now on your own. 18 part 3. Right. I'm going to come in behind you and do a graph of this. So I'm going to draw a rough sketch of this function. So it's 2x cubed minus 15x squared plus 36x. Right. Going to go from minus 10 to plus 10. It's on its way up and it crosses at 0, 0. So the graph comes up really sharply, hits at 0, 0. Then I'm going to keep continuing on. It goes to 123, 228, and it turns around. So, seems to turn around at 228. That's what I'm suspecting. Then, no, then it goes down and immediately turns back up again. So it goes down to 327. And then turns back up again and continues up forever. So, did everybody else get a similar sketch to that? So, all right, unusual. Let's roll with the punches here. All right, let's differentiate it once. Did anybody get 6x squared minus 30x plus 36? Everybody divide by 6 because we're going to put this equal to 0. Why are we putting it equal to 0? Because we need to find out where the slope was. 0. So it's going to be x squared minus 5x plus 6. And it's going to be x minus 2. And did everybody get 2 and 3? And that pretty much matched our sketch, didn't it? Now, so you want it increasing or decreasing? Right. I would say that everything in the yellow region is on its way up. I would say the really tiny blue region is on its way down. And everything in the next yellow region is on its way up. So what do you think? Any value bigger than? What? Any value to the right of 3. And any value to the left of? And you're done. Huh? That's for increasing. It only decreases in the blue region. And there's a tiny little region there, okay? Shall we move on? Alright. That was 18 part 3, was it? Alright. Now, decreasing. I think you'll be okay with this. Just draw the sketch and figure out when it's on its way down. It's not so bad. Alright, 21, however. This one. It's claiming it increases no matter what. So, I for one want to check that out. And I say, no bother. My over-reliance on this table function is legendary. Now, alright. Looking at the decimals, I can see that they're it's getting larger. There's an error there. Error is in asymptotes because x cannot be equal to minus 2 because it makes the bottom negative. But then when it resets, the numbers just keep getting bigger, don't they? And the numbers, so no matter what, it sort of takes a break and then it just keeps going up again. Okay? Anybody want to see what it looks like on GeoGebra? Right, Ken, tell me out that equation now. Charlie shaking his head. No, I don't want to see it. Yeah, once I get GeoGebra up. Alright, lads, excuse me. While we're waiting on GeoGebra, here's what we're going to do. Okay. The y dx is the slope. Everybody agreed? Everybody agreed this is a quotient rule? So, u equals 2x plus 1. The u dx equals 2. V equals 3x plus 6. The v dx 3. Go with that. P times the u dx minus u times the v dx all over phi squared. No bother. 6x plus 12 take away 6x minus 3 all over 3x plus 6 to be squared. Why is this slope always positive? Can anybody tell me? The numerator is always, you'd write this down, the numerator is always positive because it's a 9. And the denominator is always positive. Why? Sorry? Anything squared. So the slope is always positive. It's always on its way up because there's no way it can ever be negative. Alright, my GeoGebra didn't load up. But it's going to be something like this, where it goes up and then it resets at -2. It can't cross -2. Actually, sorry, it's more like this. It'll go up here and it just can't cross -2. And then it'll disappear off. And then it resets over here somewhere and it just starts going up again. It just, no matter what, it'll just keep going up. Okay? So, in class today, I did 8, 10, 14, 16, 18, and 21. Your homework for tonight is 12, 13, 18 parts 1 and 2, 19 and 20. Yes, Gavigan.